Just thinking about it. All right. Yay! All right, we are indeed live. So we're gonna kick us off with the recap. We have one player, Boggle, who will not be joining us this week or next week. He is protecting and serving the public. So we'll welcome him back as soon as he can be. Ari is going to be a little late today. Hopefully will be joining us. But as far as we know, about maybe an hour and a half to almost 2 hours late. So with that said, let us begin here. For those who wandered in and discovered this wonderful game session that we're having, want to just say hello and welcome to our humble gaming table. We are really just a bunch of nerdy friends who enjoy playing tabletop games. But before we jump into today's game, I just want to remind anybody watching or listening that this is not a board game show. This is I guess you consider a live play of our Dungeons & Dragons game. We're not online celebrities. We're just average folk like you, just having a good time playing a great game. So feel free to participate in our chat, ask us questions, or just basically have fun along with us. Everyone is welcome at our table. With that said, last we left off. Aboard the Narwhal, one of the 3 major merchant vessels docked in the Drakesbrook Harbor. There, you made a deal with a Captain Reed for 10% of the treasure that would be found within the vault. In exchange, he gave up information telling you where to find the half-golem that fled from Lord Damros's villa. You all made haste to the alley in the market ward where the captain's informant said that the golem was laying low. You found the golem hiding amidst the trash and rubbish as it tried to attack Ari. However, Imri destroyed it before its blade could even harm Ari. Searching the remains and the nearby area, you did not find the Gem of the Oracle, but you did find a map of a mausoleum with a big X marked upon it. You traveled to the Sanguine River graveyard. It was there that you found the mausoleum had been recently visited by others. Making your way inside, you found the bodies of 3 cultists lying on the floor. No gem to be found. One of the cultists was still alive. Wanting revenge for her slain lover, she agreed to take you to where the other cultists were hiding out, the ones responsible for the double cross. She led you to their hideout, an old windmill in the ring ward. There, you found many homeless squatters which Elodia almost killed on sight as they fled. However, with them gone, you made your way to the upper floors of the pigeon-claimed mill. Kicking down the door to the cultist den, you saw them hand a gem to 3 winged fiends. Imri and Ari dealt with the cultists as Barth and Elodia attacked the flying fiends with arrow and magic, Elodia making chase on foot. The fiends flew into a nearby alleyway, Elodia close behind. The rest of you jumped out of the tower, also in pursuit. Elodia found the last fiend by a wagon as 3 imps flew off, turning invisible. Elodia killed the horses on the cart, a noble fleeing, shouting for help into the nearby crowded streets. A caravan guard summoned a devil, but Ari through channeling her positive energy, slayed the creature, as she then ran after the imps upon her summoned steed. Eri found the imps and the noble, who seemed to be trying to recover the gem from a group of street urchins who have stolen it. Eri didn't pursue, but instead watched as the children moved about the streets, until eventually she spotted them going into an iron sewer grate as the guards began clearing the streets as the sun set. Elodia used her magic to conceal the rest of your presence as you all made your way to the sewers, hearing the distant sounds of the children's laughter echoing from the foul-smelling tunnels. This is where we're going to pick off today. So, now, since Eri is not going to be here, she's just going to be in the background as the rest of you make your way into the wonderful, pleasant smelling sewers.
Oh, joy.
Oh, yeah, and it's got that nice sewer smell after a very hot summer heat. So you got that baked fudge brownie smell, not the good kind, plus all the other bodily fluids and waste just cooking in here like it was a Dutch oven. Now,
Oh boy, my favorite.
yeah. Now, just to kind of hit home just how bad that this heat makes the sewer smell even worse than usual. If you are not resistant or immune to poison, the stench is so nauseating that you all are going to have the poison conditions while you are in the sewers.
Shame I'm not resistant to poison.
I know there's some people that are and would be very grateful. So I am loading a map here, and is there anybody who cannot see this map?
I see it.
I see it as well.
Okay. So, traveling in the sewers here, you have two choices of movement coming here. One is much faster than the other. So, you can travel on this foot-wide ledge that is out of the depths of the sewer water, which is filled with very foul fluids and other things. But you would travel much slower on that ledge. Or you can just trod through the Lord knows what filled sewage water and track down the children here much quicker.
I would prefer not to climb through sewage water. That's just me.
So you don't want to swim in the poo-poo. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Anybody else?
I'll take phrases I never thought I'd hear today for 500.
Oh no, there's plenty more phrases that you're going to hear that you can apply that to. This is just the beginning. But will Emery be traveling on the ledge or in the water?
I have a question first.
Sure.
Does anyone in our party know Prestidigitation?
Mordecai did.
Mordecai, but he's gone now.
See, this is why we need to start getting the prestidigitation spell.
Hey, I have minor illusion.
Yes, that doesn't help.
You're still gonna stink, and
I can make your clothes look like they're clean.
hope none of you are wearing padded armor, because it would be ruined if you touch that water. Might as well just burn it.
Yeah, I'll just not touch the water with everyone else.
Okay, what about you, Elodia?
I was okay with going to the water because it's faster. But if we're voting, then the ledge.
Alright, so Elodia agrees to stand on the ledge as she pats both of you on the back, knocking you both into the water so she can move faster. Now, alright, so traveling at a slightly slower pace, going along the ledge, still under Elodia's spell, her magic. You are still shielded through the magic, so unable to be tracked by non-magical means, having the plus 10 bonus on any stealth checks you make. Just reminding you, Imri, because I know you love putting up your hood and making such checks. You travel for about 30 minutes into the sewers, following the children as best you can here. And as you are doing so, you hear the sounds of the children screaming at the top of their lungs.
Oh, cool. We don't have to murder children. Something else did it for us.
I mean, Elodia would have murdered them in a heartbeat. I mean, she has no love for the homeless or, small children.
That's a lie.
I don't know, anybody can look up last session and just see how eager she was to put an arrow into some homeless squatters' heads. And then take their gold. So, we have the proof. I'm not saying Elodia is a murder hobo, but, you might want to be careful around her.
Hey man, those hobos have no need for that money. They don't even know what it is.
Screw hobos don't have any concept
Of money.
Well,
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, you can move your tokens in the order of formation. You've come this far, and somewhere along here in this branch tunnel is where you've heard those screams.
Yeah, honestly, for hearing the, children screaming, and we can most likely draw the conclusion they're being murdered, we should probably go through the water. Because as much as we don't want to be wading through shit, we are actually good-hearted people. And I feel like kids dying isn't.
Well, what does Barth and Elodia have to say about that plan?
fine. Go through the water.
Okay, good. I was about to force both of you with marbles on the floor. But yeah, with that, Imri's gonna jump into the water and double move. Let's go, let's go. As annoying as orphans can be, we should probably make sure they.
All right.
Yeah.
So we get get no movement penalties while on the water, right?
No, well, it's not really a movement penalty per se. Less of that and more of I'm gonna need you all to make Constitution saving throws. Okay. So right now you all just feel the warm, almost pudding-like fluids fill your boots, slosh within your soaking fabrics. The new smells that you've discovered getting even closer into this 3-foot high channel of filth. But you do come up to what appears to be a rusted iron door.
Sorry to interrupt. Is anyone else on Mixer right now?
I can't tell you that because I can't fully get onto Mixer because of some
Asking the other guys.
our other players. I have no idea. I can't confirm who's actually
It's
on
showing
there.
He's offline.
Yeah, it might be because again, there's been some issues with that service which I posted in our chat. So I don't expect a lot of people on because of all the issues that Mixer's had in the past 24 hours and Twitch has been garbage in the past 24 hours. So I've seen test streams like just drop entirely, like not just me but like other streamers as well, just completely dropped. So it's pretty bad. So I don't expect really much people watching today, if any at all. I'm just mainly trying to record this for our own archives. So
Okay.
anyway, yes, you come to a rusty iron door. It is set into the wall above the dry 1 foot wide stone ledge. What do you want to do, Barth?
Alright, well. Is it locked?
Well, there is a lock on the door.
Can I open the door? With ease.
Okay. You do open the door, and it does squeak rather loudly as you do so. And try to reveal some things here. The map will allow. So, as you open the door, you see a handful of children there. As the door squeaks open loudly, you startle them again, causing them once more to scream at the top of their lungs, just filling the sewers with their screams. Ah! They're all kind of like holding each other.
Oh, they're not even being murdered.
Do you actually say that?
No.
Okay.
Alright, well, guess we're going in.
Why are you kids screaming?
So you see the kids, they got, smudged faces, hands and feet are, dark from just all the dirt and things. You know, they're not really bathed, or at least haven't been for a few days easily. A lot of their clothing is tattered. There's no shoes on their feet. Some of them looks like they took almost like potato sacks and just kind of made them into makeshift like tunics and things like that. Most of them, there's two of them are half elves. One's a little tiefling child. She's a little girl. She's got kind of like almost like a tangerine colored skin. The horns, just kind of black horns, kind of curl towards the back of her head like ram's horns. The other two children that are there, one appears to be a halfling child, the other a dwarven child. The tiefling girl kind of nervously talks up. The gem that's alive.
What do you mean it's alive? Where is it?
It's in our clubhouse, and she points kind of like to the northwest area. We don't want nothing to do with that. And we don't want to see it again.
Alright, well, we'll take care of it for you. How does that sound?
And they just kind of nod. They like the girl seems the most terrified of the situation.
Legitimately, like, really scared.
Make an insight check. Wow. Okay. You could tell that they are like they look like kids that have just got out of an adult-rated horror film. They are scared. They are their bodies are giving all the language, them shivering, the eyes. Everything just leads to them being above board of something has terrified them to their core.
So how alive are we talking here?
It talked to me.
What did it say?
I don't remember. I just remember the scary voice, and I dropped it and screamed, and we all ran away.
You know, I don't blame you. So Imri's gonna turn to the other two. You know, I had a feeling that it might be something that's cursed.
Well,
But that was
Yeah.
more of just a passing, joking thought. This is gonna be a long day.
well, we should deal with it anyway.
Yeah, I vote that you should be the one holding it, because, you know, you might just be used to the weird voices in your head.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Hey, don't Imri me. See, he's agreeing. Alright, what direction was it in?
And again, the kids kind of point to the northwest.
Let's go! She says with the utmost enthusiasm.
That is so convincing. All that enthusiasm.
Okay, you kids stay here, and we'll try to help you.
All right. Just trying to reveal his. much as I can here. Alright. Who is going first?
Ivory points at Barth.
Yeah.
Everybody just looks at Boris. Alright, go ahead and move your tokens.
Alright.
So, Barth, as you enter in that room, you see that the wall that you passed is, not only that one, but the one ahead of you is partially collapsed in. However, you can still kind of squeeze through the space. There's a much larger space beyond that wall. However, you notice as soon as you kind of come in that first collapse wall that the air is very thick and heavy with dust. The floor is kind of a strewn about with bits of rubble, refuse, and more rat droppings than you've ever cared to see in your life.
Billing you for my dry cleaning, Bill Amory.
I know Mordecai Cleaners is very good when it gets back.
So, I would like you to make a perception check, please.
Eight. Good job, me.
So,
That's pretty bad rolls.
yeah, you're looking about. There's all this kind of like, old bits of furniture about. Some of it broken, some of it very poor condition. If you were to try to use some of this, it would probably break under your weight. But something like the kids, it would probably barely hold up.
This is rather. Yeah, no, those furniture is. I could make better furniture than that. Well, let's keep going.
I don't think it's a competition.
Don't worry about it.
How dark is it in there? In here, is it dark?
There's some very small little candles that are lit in their quote unquote clubhouse, which is the only source of light.
You know what? I'll be nice to the kids. I'm gonna drop a torch.
I think that maybe giving them a big fire stick is maybe not the best thing to give to children, but
Natural selection.
fair enough.
Trust me, if you went through what I had to growing up, you'd agree.
Alright, wow. Let's see.
So, Amory and Elodia, I want you both to make perception checks. Now, those are steps leading into a smaller area. That area is not lit.
Thank God I didn't see it. I already know what Ivory's gonna do if she's the first one to see the rock.
All right. And you, Elodia?
Sorry, I had to restart roll 20.
It's not being kind to any of us today. Alright, well, Elodia and Amory, you both see something very peculiar. Lying underneath this kind of decrepit-looking rocking chair is this glossy greenish-gray gemstone that looks like it would just fit in the palm of your hand.
Barth, you get to touch it.
And you see it over here.
Where is it? Did you guys find it?
Imri points over at the rocking chair. It's over there.
Alright, Bertha looks under the rocking chair.
Okay.
Gonna pick up the stone.
All right. As you reach to go grab the stone, bits of the wood of the rocking chair fly out towards your arm, wrap around it like tendrils that are very sticky. They don't want to let go. As your face is right down by the seat of the chair, you see the seat open up and rows of teeth are exposed as this chair is now going to try to bite your face.
It's a fucking mimic.
I would like everyone to roll initiative, as the mimic is going to act on the surprise here, as the rest of you will have the surprise condition for this round.
Oh, that's not good.
You know what the worst part is? Imri expected something weird. And yet she's still surprised.
At least it's only one, presumably.
Well,
So I did not.
yeah, all the rat droppings are each mimics. No. So
You know, it did happen to us one time.
So the pseudopods that I mentioned to you,
Okay, it will not let me put my thing on the turn tracker.
did you select your token before doing it?
I thought I did. Apparently not.
Okay, well we can manually fix that. So the creature here, the pseudopod, does make contact with a 24. So the pseudopod does wrap around you. As it does, it adheres to your arm, and let's see, you're considered grappled by the mimic. And if you try to escape from it, you will have disadvantage on the check because of the powerful natural adhesive that it secretes. But that is not the only thing. The teeth are coming for you.
You know, I forgot that mimics just have glue inside of them.
Alright, so the bite hits an AC of 19, which I think just barely hit you. Yeah, looks like by 1. So,
Yeah.
well, you are going to be taking. Come here. 13 points of piercing damage and 7 points of acid damage as the teeth sink into you. They don't quite get your face, but they do get like the part of your shoulder where it meets the neck. So the chair is literally chewing on the bit of shoulder on Barth as his arms kind of like reach under, exposing it.
So that was, what, 13 piercing and 7 acid? You said?
Yes. Alright, so with that, of course you no longer have the surprise condition. And we are going to go to Imri, who's going to start the round off. Now, Barth, you did grab the stone, but the chair grabbed you in response. So you have the stone in your hand right now.
I'm just gonna walk up to it and violently stab it.
Why don't you violently caress it? Say sweet, nurturing things to it.
Oh, look at the little mimic. Oh, look how cute. Does a 23 hit it?
23 does indeed hit the living chair that is chewing on Barth.
Amber, could you please not pet the chair?
Wow.
The chair that is...
Would you rather me stab it, or would you rather me use the crossbow?
It's trying to...
But all right, yeah, you stab into it. It kind of lets out this screech as the purple tongue kind of flails about. You see more pseudopods kind of extending from the arms and the back of the chair. It looks like they're worming their way towards you, Emery.
Yeah, I remember reading about this in one of Ares' books. I'm just gonna take a step back here, Barth. Good luck. Elodia, shoot the damn thing.
Don't leave me
Do you
here!
trust me, Boris? I'm shooting it.
Emery, do you back up?
Oh yeah, she's backing up.
All right, it will make an attack of opportunity on you as you leave its threatened area here. Oh no!
Oh, don't worry, I have uncanny dodge.
That's a natural 20.
Shame you don't have adamantine armor like Barth.
Oh, this could suck. Okay, that is going to be 17 points of piercing damage. Oh, and 12 points of acid damage.
I'm just gonna use my reaction to have the damage.
Sure. I would agree with that. I would concur with that plan. That is a great
How
plan.
much was that in total?
That is. Hang on. Bup. Do. 29. Now, Elodia, that will hit, and for 17, let me just add this real quick. It is still standing there.
And I'll do another shot.
Okay. 22. All right. So, as Matt Mercer would say, how do you want to do this?
I'll let you describe.
All right. So, as Barth is, been chewed on, and Armory backs up and starts getting pulled in, also, limbs being chewed on. You take the opportunity to put one arrow into it, not quite knowing exactly where to shoot. The first shot goes into the front-facing back of the chair, and you hear the thing kind of let out another high-pitched scree. Then you quickly take another arrow, and just as it looks like it's trying to pull Emery's hand, holding the dagger into its mouth, trying to bite off her hand, you fire another arrow. The arrow goes in, pins the tongue to the upper part of the mouth, and then no sooner than this happens, all this very dark lavender colored blood just starts spilling out from its mouth. The legs of the chair just fall flat all around your arms, Barth. Like, you feel the adhesive tendrils loosen up, but then the weight of the chair just kind of slams on you, and it feels much heavier than a regular chair. Not that you would have too much trouble moving, it's just like something just sat on your arm. But the chair begins to take more of an amorphous form, and the various bits of wood just kind of lax and just fold in on each other. But it does not appear to be moving or much of a threat anymore.
Hey kids, was there a rocking chair in here before the before you guys got that weird rock?
What rocking chair?
fucker.
Barth just
Don't worry, it's dead now.
Barth just pushes the chair off of him. It's like, oh, well, that was unpleasant. Ugh. He's gonna look. He's gonna like look under the corpse of the chair for the gem.
Well, you still had the gem in your hand. You were able to grab it. It just right when you were kind of pulling your hand, that's when I was like, "Gotcha." So it didn't care about the gem. It just cared about the tasty, meaty arm that was right under it. So.
He's using the gem as like an angler fish bait lure. Well, at least we got.
Now, you're not sure what this gem does exactly.
How big is the gem?
It's big enough to fit in the palm of your hand.
I mean, we have an idea of what it does. It apparently creates fucking mimics.
Okay, Barth, you're in charge of holding that.
All right.
I think we should get out of here really quick, because
I agree. I would rather not stay in here much longer. But what about down that way? And he gestures towards the dark stairs.
Hey kids, what's down the dark stairwell?
we are so brave.
The rat cellars?
Yeah, no, we have what we came here for. Let's leave.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds. I'm okay with that.
All right, well, where do you go?
I'd like to say back the way we came.
Okay. All right, so you continue back. You go
Are
through.
we leaving the kids? The kids can just stay here. They probably live here, right?
Yeah, I listen. We already bought a lot of things for the random orphans in the city. I'd rather not take the smelly sewer rats.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just give them all my rations. It probably looks skinny.
Let's get out of here.
All right. So, backtracking your way through the sewers, using the ledge, I presume, or are you just wading away?
Yes,
Okay.
using the ledge this time.
All right. Well. The sun has set, but you do make your way back to the grate, which was the entrance that you came by. Going back into the streets, you three are greeted by what seems to be about 24 city guard. There's a watch sergeant present as you climb out the sewers, and they all just kind of look at a moment, just surprised, and then their demeanor shifts a little bit. You! Surrender your weapons and come along quietly. You all are under arrest.
For what?
Well, for starters, disturbing the peace while that does seem like a minor offense, it does carry fines and could possibly result in an edict if found guilty. However, persons of your description have also been suspected of other crimes, more serious crimes, hampering justice, vandalism, tomb robbing, just to name a few. Now, will you surrender your weapons and comply as we take you to the courthouse where you will be seen by a magistrate and plead your case? Or are you going to resist?
I start handing them my weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? You guys can have my weapons. I, at this point, really don't care. It's been a long day, and
Barth?
Sure. Why not?
All right. Well,
Gonna hand over his axe.
so as long as
yeah, are you also gonna hand them over the rock and warn them that first?
No rock. He has no rock. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, since you're complying, they actually, since you're giving them your obvious weapons with that, they don't do a very thorough search. They kind of do like a very quick, like, make sure you don't have any other swords or daggers like lining inside of your coats or boots. So, all your obvious weapons have been confiscated with that, but they don't search you any further with that. So any of your coin, your purses, the stone, you have that on your persons as you are taken into custody, and you are actually escorted to a courthouse. You're brought to a courthouse in the Drakesbrook district, and it is here that you each are confined to your own cells for the evening.
Oh boy, back here again.
Yes. You did notice that your items, your weapons, were entrusted to a clerk at the front desk of the courthouse, pending, whatever your trial's outcome will be. So, with that, let me get you over onto a new map here. And I don't think I revealed the cells on here, so it's going to be dark for a bit. Just bear with me. Reveal areas. Now, I couldn't get the map to align properly on this, so I do apologize for any mismatching on here. Now, can any of you not see the map?
I can see it.
Okay. So, since it's night, the magistrate is not seeing anybody, this late at night. You are basically staying in your cells for the remainder of the evening, where you could get a long rest. And as we discussed before, you would apply your level ups during that time. Now, I have spoken to Cindy about what they were doing during your other adventures last session, and while they were laying low. Cindy.
Yeah.
Okay, so your friends, or at least the owners of the inn, none of them have returned since they were doing their outing the other day. You have heard little stories of commotion, but you hear little bits of talk here and there from other tavern goers, things of the various guild wars that are going on, other guild members attacking people in the streets, words of now cultists and people talking about giants outside of the city, things you've heard before, just in different mediums. But it's not until the next morning, when nobody has still returned, and the inn is visited by Lord Ryrak, the noble that you've met once before, ones that seem to have known your other fellows.
Should I be applying a level 2?
Yes. Even though you don't have like the full sleep, like other people do, it's still a long rest, so you still apply the level up.
So, I'm just chilling in the corner in statue form, on one knee with my sword out in my hand, with the tip pressed against the ground. Night in supplication.
So, and there's still like tavern goers that come in, some early breakfast, and the tavern staff work hard to keep the place clean, and sometimes the spirit will kind of make drinks and help serve them at the counter. Nothing too elaborate, not too often. It's kind of a rare occurrence, but it is kind of a sight, and it's making some buzz that there's like a ghost server or a ghost bartender here, so it's getting some buzz to the tavern. But the dwarven lord, Ryrak, comes in and he sees you, but he doesn't see your other fellows. Metalman, where are the owners?
Processing. Oh no. They have not returned.
Then it must be true. Rumors from some of the landers report that a few people late last night were matching some of the description of those you travel with, were taken in by the guard. They say that they were brought to the Drakesbrook courthouse. I don't know on what charges, but they said that 24 guard escorted them late last night. If I were you, I would head over there, as I intend to myself to find out a little more what is going on.
Affirmative. I will investigate.
So, walking with you to the courthouse, and I need to get your token here because that is actually not copied on this map. Oh god, it's a giant Cindy token. It was about the size of 4 squares. I believe that was the token we used for him. Yeah. Alright, just trying to reveal a few things here. Wow, what's going on? Now you're in a completely different area of this courthouse. All right, Sydney, can you not see your token or where Lord Riak is with you? Okay, perfect. I know you can see the others where they're at in the courthouse, but you don't know that they're there yet. Nor do they know that you're here. So, entering in here, coming into the courthouse, there are 2 guards stationed out front. You enter in the main area here where you can see that there is another guard by a clerk who sits behind a desk. There are a few uncomfortable-looking wooden benches that line the walls, copper plaques mounted above the benches that have that say, "Please have a seat. Someone will be with you shortly." And the clerk's just kind of busy scribbling down some things on some parchment, dipping his quill in a little ink pen and just scribing down as you enter in. Doesn't really pay too much mind to you right now as you enter in.
I will wait here.
Okay. So, let's get this here. We're kind of jumping to 2 different groups here, so please bear with me on this. Things happen from time to time. It is Dungeons and Dragons, after all. And let's get... I guess that'll work. All right. So the clerk, as see you and the dwarven lord Riak walk up by the desk, the lord taking a few steps closer. Clerk looks up, just his little round, thin framed glasses. Yes, and how can I help you, gentlemen? As he kind of looks at you, Cindy. And Riak will... It has come to my attention that the city guard had arrested a few persons matching some known associates, and I wanted to know what charges and when will they be seen by the magistrate. Yes. 4 of them were picked up exiting the sewers. Oh my. Well, they're being charged with some rather serious crimes, my lord. And he pulls out the scroll, and when he unfurls it, he has to kind of extend his arm a bit, and there's a good bit of writing on it. And he goes from kind of the top, starting at the top. Well, it looks like they're being charged with the assault of a known lord. If found guilty, the penalty will be death. There are 3 accounts of assaulting a known noble, which, if found guilty per account, will be flogging, imprisonment up to a 10-day per charge found guilty, and a fine up to 500 gold per charge. Brandishing weapons without due cause, which bears a penalty of imprisonment up to a 10-day, and or a fine up to 10 gold. Hampering justice, which carries a fine of 200 gold, and hard labor up to an additional 10-day. Littering, fine up to 2 gold, and an edict. Vandalism, imprisonment up to a 10-day plus fine and or damages covering the cost of repairs plus up to 100 gold. Tomb robbing, boy, they've been a busy lot. Prisoning up to a 10-day and damages covering the cost of repairs plus an additional 500 gold. Assaulting a citizen, imprisonment up to 10-day, flogging and damages up to 1,000 gold. Intimidating a citizen, fined or damages up to 500 gold and an edict. damaging of private property, damages covering the cost of repairs or replacement, plus up to 500 gold. Disturbing the peace, which carries with it a fine up to 25 gold, as well as an edict. Murdering a citizen without justification, exile up to 5 years, or hard labor up to 3 years, or damages up to 1,000 gold paid to the victim's kin. And using magic to influence a citizen without their consent, fine or damages up to 1,000 gold, as well as an edict.
Damn it, Barth.
Well, the magistrate has got a busy docket today, so it may be a few hours before they can be seen. But they will be seen. The magistrate will be conducting interviews with the watch, as well as any of those witnesses. And once those interviews have been conducted, they will get the accounts of the accused, and then based on the evidence and the interviews, the trial will begin, and they will be found guilty or innocent of each of the crimes that has been accused of them. Well, I would like to add my testimony to those, as they have helped me before. I would like to make sure that they are fairly seen, and if nothing else, I can serve as a character witness to their good deeds if any of these other witnesses or accounts try to tarnish their good names. Very well, sir. I will get the paperwork, and I'll just need you to sign that you're going to act as such, and you'll be interviewed. If you could, just please take a seat, and I'll get the paperwork to you momentarily. And you, large person.
Cindy.
How can I help you?
I'm here for the same people. The list of crimes seems less than probable.
Well, there's been eyewitness accounts.
Corruption? Yes.
Well, why don't you just take a seat as well, and when they will be seen by the magistrates, you can be brought into the courtroom.
The corruptor? Yes.
He will take a knee like he did before with his sword just in front of him, kneeling, and go into his resting state as he thinks about this.
Okay. Now remember, you don't know them, quite well. You've only been with them a little bit, so it does seem like a laundry list of things, but you don't know what they've been up to before they met
It's been
you.
less than a day.
Yeah.
It's been less than a day.
All right. So, moving to
The GM role I sent you was mine.
gotcha. Okay, I was kind of wondering what that was because there wasn't any context to that. So, perfect. All right.
Yes, it was perfect.
Indeed, it was. That was a perfect role for that. So, in case those who are wondering, we have we're rolling anything after first level. We're rolling the HP with, and if they roll one, they get to kind of re-roll it. So, and Mordecai rolled perfect for Cindy. So. All right, now moving to the cells here. While not the perfect rest, you are able to get a long rest. So all your hit points have come back, your abilities have refreshed, your ability pools for your classes have refreshed. You've been given kind of a very basic breakfast. Pretty much just like some bread, some cheese, some very, very, very watered down ale. But you've been giving something to kind of eat as you hang about in your cells here. Barth, you still have the gem.
Well, that's good at least.
Ares kind of shouting at the guard for more food. She is very, very hungry. As you know, she can eat her weight in just chicken alone. So the little bit of handful of cheese and bread and that does nothing to sate her hunger.
Well, Earth's going to take the stone out and examine it.
Okay. Well, it is. Now, when you examine, are you using any magic to examine it? Or are you just looking at it?
In fact, he actually is, because I changed his Eldritch Invocations to Devil's Sight, so now he can cast Detect Magic at will, so he's going to use the Detect Magic.
Alright. Well, it does indeed detect as magic. It is radiating quite powerful magics. And quite a few different schools of magic as well. Not only evocation, abjuration, divination, but also necromancy.
Alright, so how it goes is he's just sort of looking at it, and then he blinks, and then it suddenly starts glowing. He's like, oh god, how did I do that? What? And he almost drops it for a second as it suddenly starts glowing.
Now, if you decide to study this a bit more and attune to it, you could probably deem more information from it.
That's probably a bad idea, so let's do it.
The Ares School of Logic, I approve. So, as you spend the next hour just kind of clutching the gem, it begins to, as more of the hour passes, it begins to almost sparkle a bit in your hand. Until finally, once you fully attune to it, a few things happen. As you kind of feel your attunement with this artifact, you open your eyes and everything is almost devoid of color. It's almost like the world is now in a black and white. There's also rolling fog through the jail cells. You look across to your cellmate, Emery, who's just kind of sitting there, what she was doing before you attuned to it. She seems almost like just frozen in place. You hear...
Yes, it does seem like this was a bad idea.
You start to hear voices, multiple at first, like dozens, and then they all kind of slowly start to speak in tune, almost like they're fine-tuning their voices, like just syncing up the words, and a lot of the words seemed almost muffled or at least altered by like a slight slithering or a like somebody's trying to speak with a mouthful of noodles. But eventually the voice you kind of make out, another holds the eye, my eye. Why do you possess my eye?
Oh, this was definitely a bad idea.
And you see something moving in the hallway above the fog. It's not something very large. It's actually something small, but it's almost like a floating head. A head with withered, leathered, like tentacles in the front of its mouth. It's missing one eye in its bony-like skull, but the other eye is almost identical to the gem that you hold in your hand. and where it would have teeth behind the little tendrils, it has a series of many shiny rubies and diamonds. And it just kind of stops and turns and looks towards you.
Well, this was most definitely a bad idea. You would think I would learn by now.
So I'm going to just show this to everybody. So you immediately realize that the gem that you hold in your hand is actually an eye of a demi-elitholich, also known as a demi-lich mind flare.
Well, that's not good.
So, right now, the voice that you hear, you are the only one that hears it. You realize that this creature, whatever this creature is, it's very alien in its intellect and its desires. It seems to be very almost domineering, kind of like it's poking at your own psyche, looking for weaknesses or just probing you. You have my eye. I want it back. Now you know that being attuned to this, while it is learning from you, more specifically your greatest desires, you also have, it's a two-way link, and from this link, you can also communicate with it to probe knowledge from it. Basically, if you use its legend lore ability, which you can do 3 times a day, you can try to ask the creature specific knowledge as per the legend lore spell.
Right.
So basically, legend lore, if you name or describe a person, place, or object, the spell would bring to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. Lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you will receive. The information you learn is accurate, but might be couched in figurative language.
Right. I'll be honest, I don't really know what to do from now.
Well, I mean, you don't have to speak to the creature here for it. You can kind of break contact with it if you like. Now, it doesn't mean breaking attunement. It just means you're not talking to it right now.
I think Barth's going to realize this was a bad idea, and he's probably going to attempt to break contact and then deattune the item.
Okay.
It's, one incredibly powerful entity.
There's not enough space in there. Yeah, you already have Newt, and her fey creatures just bothering you enough. You don't need some otherworldly Cthulhian creature, just talking to you as well. You have a full dance card. I understand. Now, here's the best part. I need you, since you broke attunement, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Alright, I'm gonna use my inspiration on this.
Okay.
17.
You did not make the save. So, after deattuning with it, you lose all memory of the gem, what you saw in the gem, what you spoke to. You even forget that the gem is even in your possession.
Oh. Alright. It's just, now in his pocket and he doesn't even remember that he has it.
Yep. You're like, what's this thing? Maybe I could sell it and get something nice.
Alright, well. That was... Well, so, you're in this, jail cell.
Now, you do remember being arrested, but you don't remember ever having the gem.
Yeah.
So, Imra, you hear Barth kind of speak with a slight lisp for a moment, but after a moment, he seems to talk normal again.
I feel like he did a dumb. You know what? I just woke up. I'm not dealing with that right now.
You hear Ari go, "Psst! Imra! Imra!
What?
Can I have your breakfast? I'm really hungry right now."
Yeah, I'm gonna be questioning that one later. Sure. And she attempts to slide the food. This
Make a flat dexterity check. I'm hoping for like a 1. That would be amazing. Yeah, you slide the bowl. The bread and the cheese kind of slide a bit as the bowl kind of spins along the stone floor, but it slides far enough where Ari can just reach out, just kind of stick her arm out and grab the plate and start going to town on it.
Oh, this is a group of crazy people. This is gonna be a long day.
Lodia, what are
Hey,
you
Barth. Oh.
No, you go ahead.
No, do that. Hey, Barth. Is there any guards nearby?
Do you try to find out if there's a guard nearby?
She's gonna poke her head through the her grating to see.
Yes, actually there is. There's one at the end of the hall here.
Good to know. Barth, buddy, how are you doing?
It's pretty alright. I think, I mean, you know, other than being locked in these cells, I don't really remember. Yeah. But, you know.
You still have the gem, right? They didn't take it?
What gem?
The gem that we found.
No, you hush. Okay, that's a red flag. Woohoo! Imri throws up her hands and falls back into the bed.
Oh, seriously, what are you talking about? What gem?
Don't worry about it right now, Barth.
Okay.
We'll talk more when we get out of here. I hope.
You know what? It might be better that you don't remember the mimic that tried to eat you.
No, I remember the mimic.
Nice.
Yeah, that was not pleasant.
Elodia, I think we should just let him remember the mimic for now.
Okay, I agree. That's fine.
Eri starts going, Psst, Elodia!
I'm so
Elodia!
hungry.
Yeah!
Want more food?
Yeah!
Okay,
Oh, look at the little Aerie.
I'll give her my food.
And she's...
Gotta make sure to feed her so she grows up big and strong.
How come we're always hungry?
I don't know, I feel like I haven't eaten in days. And she starts wolfing down the food. And after she eats your food as well, you hear Erie's stomach just kind of grumble like it's hungry still. You hear that. All right, so while you're in the cells here, do you wait? What do you want to do?
I don't know, unless we have like, I don't think, do we have a plan or anything?
I'm pretty sure shit doesn't have one.
Okay, so, Lodia, what about you?
I guess just waiting at this point. Are we gonna try to get out of here? Probably not the best idea, since we're already in a lot of trouble.
Okay, so, after waiting another hour, the guard kind of leaves the hall there, and after about 10 minutes or so, you hear some heavier footsteps come along the hall to the south. And you see somebody that you've met before.
Is it the Relden lie detector?
No. No, somebody you met in more positive faction. The Captain Staggett, the Centaur, back when you were at the Mouths of Madness warehouse, when they stormed in and were investigating some of the ruckus that was going on there, some of the suspicious activity. When you killed the half bird, half assassins, and that's where you found Rarak hiding in a bunch of rotted fish. So, Captain Staggett comes by your cells, and he's got keys in his hand, and he begins unlocking each of your cells. Look, be quiet. There's not a lot of time. The Magister is corrupt, and I feel that you are going to be, if not found guilty of all your crimes, you will not leave this courthouse alive. That is not justice. I will not see that happen to folk that I know with my own eyes are in good standing. I suggest that you find a way out of the city before you're sentenced to death. I would not tarry on this, and if you need to send any messages or have anything that you need sent anywhere before you escape, I can take care of that for you, but you need to get going now. You do not have much time.
Noted. Alright, I'm fine with that. You guys? Is
I'm
everyone
fine with that.
with leaving this crazy place?
Yes. We need to maybe have a message sent to Boggle and
Thinking about where are we going? Yeah, we're leaving this town, but like, where are we going?
Aren't you guys from Aurora? And didn't you guys mention that you want to go back there?
Okay, Aurora it is.
Okay,
should,
fair enough.
We should stop by the what was the temple of the Wonderbringer? Yeah. Before we leave, though.
The House of Animated Connections.
Yeah, that's the one.
Thank you. Does he have our equipment?
No, he does not.
Is there any way we could get our equipment back?
I don't think there's much time. I'll take any messages that you need to have sent and any other items that you need to lay low while you make your escape.
Alright. So, Bart's going to take out the sensor module of the half golem, and give that to the to the guard captain. He's also going to tell it, and he's also going to deliver him a note. It says, give that to, what was the priestess's name?
Oh, hang on. Got her in the priestess for the Wonderbringer temple, correct?
Yes.
That would be. Let's see. Come on, what should you name it? Vera. Full name was Vera Dallin. She was the Dragonborn priestess.
Give this to Vera Dallin and have this, and tell her that there's someone at the Dragon's Flower Inn that needs assistance, and to give this letter to, and then to leave this letter for them as well. So he's also going to pull out a piece of paper and quickly write down a note on that he's going to have the priestess leave for Sinoshka, and I'll have that written up for you later.
All right. Is there anything else that you need to leave in my care, or any other messages?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, probably get a message to Boggle and possibly Cindy.
What about Mordecai? Should we send him a message?
You don't know where his current whereabouts are right now.
He just left, right? Without really saying goodbye.
He left a note.
I forgot to write notes. I'll write those up and send them to you.
Yeah, he was going to leave a note with that, but IRL didn't actually write the context of the note, but he did leave a message.
It essentially says that he was heading to Fort Dragon to take care of it. So,
I actually want to ask the guy a question.
All right, go ahead. Make it quick. We do not have much time.
How did you guys find out that the magistrate was corrupt?
well, there's this construct in the lobby.
Well, considering the swift actions of the guard and the fact that you have yet to be seen by the magistrate means that you have been accused of many crimes. Are you saying that you are guilty of these crimes? Because your other fellows there, I've seen them before and they are not.
Does he look like he's telling the truth?
Make an insight check.
I did.
Ah, okay, there it goes. He seems above over. There's something like just off about him. You can't quite put your finger on it.
He's being mind controlled.
Damn Faye!
Really wish that I knew that Barth knew detect magic.
He didn't know that until he knew that until like this morning.
Because to Imri, this seems too convenient. I'm not saying that we've done anything, but it seems a little bit too convenient to our own luck that the magistrate ends up being corrupt the moment we touch jail. And seeing as we've been blamed for a lot of things, it just seems too lucky to me. Plus, who are you?
I am Captain Staggett of the Reldon Watch.
Yeah, I've never met you in my life. How do you know these guys?
There was this was actually when I was not here, so
There was a warehouse that you were investigating in the Drakesbrook district. That was a known hideout for the Mouths of Madness. When you went there, you were attacked by Veiled Society assassins. After dealing with those, you found the bodies of both the Veiled Society as well as the Mouths of Madness. As you were searching the warehouse, you found Lord Rurak hiding in a pile of rotting fish. He had been beaten up. And before you could do too much further in the warehouse, that's when the City Watch came. They had reports of suspicious activity in the warehouse, and that's how you met him, and that's how you met Lord Rurak for the first time.
yeah, Barth explains all that to Amory.
Enough talk. We need to go.
Are you guys fine with this?
Well, I don't see much of another reason to. I don't see much of a choice.
Alright.
Alright, so, Barth.
Yes.
Alright, as you enter the hallway here, there's another doorway here. So you see the bodies of two of the guards in the hallway, and as you step in the hallway, Staggett shouts, "Alarm! Prisoners escaping!"
Immediately runs back to the cell.
Go back to the cell.
Well,
Cool.
you're right. It was a bit too convenient. So, what do we do now?
Well, you know what? He just
That-
screamed guards. They're dead, right?
Yeah,
There was blood. They didn't look like they were breathing. They were slouched along the floor and the wall.
I'm just gonna scream out that the guard captain is a fake.
I mean, we could. That's
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think that's gonna work, Avery. No offense.
Well, you know what? Grab a sword. We're forced to cut our way out. Oh, this is gonna be a long day. Is there a weapon that, by chance, maybe be a rapier or a dagger nearby?
on the guards' bodies with that.
Two guards.
Yeah, there is.
Just gonna grab a dagger.
All right, so let's do this here since y'all ran back to your cells.
No,
Well,
it's,
no, I don't think we
no,
did. It's like it's just no one else fucking moved, so I was just gonna.
it's not a good idea to run back to it.
All right, so let's roll initiative. That's wow, that is good for y'all. And that includes you, Cindy, as you're going to hear the commotion in a bit.
But yeah, Imri would have followed with Barth and the guy. The moment she sees the dead bodies, she would have just sighed.
That's a good initiative roll. It's a really good initiative roll.
Why are you like this, Barth?
Well, you see, I was on the ship, and then that ship sunk, and I almost drowned.
Look at y'all.
Critical roll. Whoa, critical. Now, so, all right, that one was pretty bad. Wait, why is that 3 for that? Hang on. Yeah. Okay, got Cindy, and we're okay. Aries just kind of falling back. All right. So, Lodia.
Okay, I'm gonna move here, check his body and see if he has any weapon.
Okay. He does have weapons. So he does have a bow, a longbow, and it looks like he has a short sword and dagger.
Is the centaur captain still there?
Oh yeah, he's at the other end of that hallway.
So yeah, I'm gonna get the bow and then I'm gonna hand the dagger to Imri and the short sword to Barth. And I think that's my action.
Okay. So, Imri.
Mr. Fake, is there any way we can talk about this?
There's nothing to talk about. You've killed these guards. I will not let you escape.
Yeah, eat 3 kinds of dick. God damn it. Come on, Barth, let's kill him.
Yeah, I agree.
Stab.
All right. Well, 21 is gonna hit.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Be right
Sure.
I don't know why it double rolled, but hey, look, it's execute.
All right.
Uh,
So let me ask this: is anybody else that needs to use a restroom or facilities, anything like that? Because we need to just take a quick 10-minute break before we jump into the wholehearted combat any further.
Yeah, 10-minute break sounds good. I'll take one.
All right. Let me just mark this damage here, and just check one thing on here. Perfect. All right. So, all right. Well, yeah. Let's just take a quick little 10-minute, and we will continue on with the rest of Imri's turn after that first bit of damage, and then see what else happens next. So, stay tuned. Anyway, putting this on hold for a moment. Feel free to chat.
swear the moment I thought about it a little bit harder, I was just like, oh no, this is bad.
I called it super hard.
I should have immediately just went right back into the cell and laid down.
We're about to murder a whole bunch of people.
Oh no, Imri is taking everyone out non-lethally except for this man.
Seventh level is a good level.
What was that?
Seventh level is a good level for me.
Yeah, I can't wait to hit 7th myself.
You should be 7th level now.
I thought we were 6.
No, 7th. We just leveled up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh.
Oh.
I am back, by the way.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I'm here.
Okay. So I think we're waiting on Celica and Lauren. Okay. Did Celica leave too, or
I'm just
okay?
fixing an egg.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if you're, by your system, or you can continue your turn, or we can just give you a few more minutes.
I use a laptop.
Okay. Well, if everybody's ready, we can just continue on.
Yeah, yeah.
Cindy's like, "Come on, we'll do this." So Sadly, there's just been the shouting right now. No alarm yet, but so you made your one attack, and you did hit. You did cut the centaur. Just kind of looks at you and I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this too, cocksucker. She's not happy.
Oh, I bet she's not.
And that is her turn.
Oh, okay.
Barth, you better get your fucking gangly ass over here. I need my sneak attack, buddy.
So, Cindy, it is your turn, but there hasn't been any alarm sounded yet. So right now, it's been about 2 hours since you arrived. They've already handed the noble the paperwork that he signed. He's waiting for his testimony and interview to kind of partake. So you two are just still in the clerk's area right now.
I didn't hear any of the yelling.
No, you did not hear the yelling. Because they are pretty far away and on a different floor from you.
I guess I'm still just kneeling there.
And let's see. So this is where the other guards start reacting. So this is where there you all hear like the ringing of a bell. And from the ringing, Imrie, from up above, the door opens. And you can see when it does, keep selecting the wrong little map layer for this. One of the guards comes by you with his weapon drawn. He's going to attack you with his long sword. His first attack misses you as you dodge it. So as the door opens, your reflexes kick in. Was not enough to hit you. However, his second strike does hit an AC 17. And with that, because he's wielding it with two hands, you are going to take 10 points of slashing damage.
Ooh, that hurt.
And there's another one here. Pulls out a heavy crossbow. And he's going to try to hit you. And he is not going to hit you. And he just narrowly misses his buddy there as the heavy crossbow hits the other wall right behind you. Watch where you're aiming that bloody thing! And the centaur just kind of chuckles a bit. It's not too late to surrender before your life is forfeit.
Yeah, guard killer. I am not surrendering to you.
Alright. Captain. So he is going to go. Alright, so he gets 22. That is not going to be enough to hit you. Misses you by 1. And that one's not even better. So he starts swinging at you as well, trying to hit you, even tries to kick you with the hooves. Does not manage to land an attack on you. Guards! Guards! Still shouting for more guards. You hear footsteps, and a door to the south opens up. You see a guard. He's carrying a spear here.
That was a massive clusterfuck.
And he is going to try to throw the spear at you, Emery. And he is going to miss. He has got the aim of the stormtrooper. Holy crap. And from that door opening, you see that there was... What the hell? Y'all still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I heard the little windows chime like something got disconnected. So I'm not sure what the hell that was. Everything seems in order. So... Alright. Find out what broke in a minute. And that's their turn here. Barth.
Yes. Alright, first thing Barth is going to do is cast... He's going to cast
Shadow Blade.
Yep, Shadow Blade.
Fantastic. So this Eldritch energy, this kind of black and green energy just form the shape of this elongated... Is it, what is it shaped like? Is it like a scimitar, a short sword, a falchion, an épée? What does it look like?
It's like a falchion that he just sort of draws
Okay.
out of thin air.
And it's completely black except for this like trace of green that goes around the edges. Otherwise it just looks like solid black, like inky shadow.
Yeah.
Alright, well you have your blade.
Then he's gonna up there,
Okay.
and he's going to he's gonna Alright, he's gonna attack him. He's gonna attack the
Alright.
and we're gonna use the maneuver trip attack.
Okay. What's the save on that?
It is strength saving throw DC 15.
Fail.
Nice.
So with this,
And he also takes an
how much extra damage?
and I just have to look out what my superior.
Oh, it cut off right there. I was like, I didn't hear the number. So you do the sweeping strike and takes this centaur right off his feet. Why am I not seeing
Takes
the...
an extra 2 damage. Well, then we're going to action surge, and we're going to
Whoa.
attack him again.
Alright.
Yep. 26. 17 damage.
Ooh, alright. looking pretty bad.
And that's gonna be Barth's turn.
All right, top of the order, Elodia.
I'm gonna go for the same guy. I'm gonna shoot. Nope. Who did I shoot?
You just kind of miss, like you go to fire at the centaur, but he was taken down, and you just kind of hit the wall behind him.
Okay, so trying for another one.
That will hit. All right, and
I'm just gonna move over here.
all right. Well, that will actually finish him off, believe it or not. And as that arrow pierces into him, he kind of grabs the arrow in his chest. And after he thrashes for a moment, you see the form begin to change.
Oh.
So the form itself starts to shrink. The horse parts start to shrink into itself, and instead of 4 legs, starts to turn into 2. And from there, the color of the horse, the fawn color, starts to darken and turn like a sickly gray. The arms elongated, the fingers like talons. The mouth just kind of flattens into one flat surface across this gray, hairless form, with these almost yellow and white eyes. There are no irises. Very gangly, gray, hairless form just kind of lays on the stone floor. The other guards are like looking like, what the fuck?
So can Imri say something?
Sure.
She's gonna hold up her hands and go, I have no clue what the fuck that is, but that killed the guards, and that is terrifying.
Clearly, it seems that the guards have been infiltrated by some subversive element of some sorts and are corrupting it from the inside. You-
And this sergeant will... Be that as it may, drop your weapons! You're still prisoners of the courthouse until you are seen by the magistrate and either proven guilty or absolved of your crimes and set free as innocents.
I'm completely fine with that. She drops the dagger.
I'm going to drop the weapon and go back to the cell.
I am so sorry about this. That is...
Barth's going to activate his detect magic.
Okay.
Does he detect any magic on the other guards?
Not really. They're not carrying any magical weaponry, or armor.
They're not other monstrosities that have been
Well, the tech magic wouldn't reveal certain other things with that. It just detects the presence of magic, which, in some cases, can be very easily disguised against detect magic as well.
Alright, well, he doesn't see anything, so
But yeah, he doesn't detect any magic in the immediate area on the guards. Be it the dead ones, this gray, hairless, gangly creature, or the 3 guards that you currently see here.
Alright, goes over to the corpse and he grabs the half golem's sensor head and his letter, and then he dismisses his weapon and then goes back to goes and follows everyone else back to their cells.
Before Emery goes back to cell, she's gonna go over to the sergeant. Could you make sure that the real whoever that is alive? Because if that's running around, that's worrying.
And there might be others, just so you know. There rarely is there only ever one in a situation like that.
We'll conduct an investigation. In the meantime, you'll need to be put back in your cells for your own safety.
Yeah. Have a good day.
And he escorts each one of you back to your cells. While this is going on, the bells still ring, and during the ringing here, you hear some of there's like bells on the walls just start chiming. The guards in the main waiting area will see it and begin to kind of rush off. One of the guards from the outside enters in, and the guard across here tells them to stay here, basically guarding the clerk and the nobleman. The guard on the outside by the door is staying at their post, while the two guards begin to run downstairs. What does Cindy do when he sees this? Mordecai?
Hey, what's up? Sorry.
So, did you hear what I said about the guards' actions?
I'm sorry, no, I was talking to Cindy.
Okay. So, the bells were ringing in the main waiting room, and two of the guards ran down the hall to a pair of double doors. A guard from the outside came in and was told to stay in the waiting room where the nobleman and the clerk were. The other guard outside is staying their post. They both have their weapons in hand.
I'll start following the guard through the double doors.
Sorry, I forgot my voice. I start following the guard through the double doors.
All right. So going downstairs, the other guards and you, if I can grab all the tokens, it'd be amazing. You see the gangly gray creature, the body there. You also see a lot of other blood there. The other guards are looking over the body, and the guards are, what's going on? The prisoners were trying to escape, and then this creature here looked like Captain Staggett. He died during the conflict, but the other prisoners were put back in their cells. You! What are you doing here? Get back to the waiting room. This is not a secure area.
I came to aid in combat.
Well, looks like the excitement's over for now. The sergeants have things at hand here. Let us return back upstairs. Let them conduct their findings, and this is What a wonderful start to a day.
How did the prisoners escape without keys?
I do not have that information, but let us return and let the sergeants do their task.
Cindy looks down the hallway at the body. Is just a little dubious about this whole thing, but he starts heading back towards the lobby.
Okay. So you head back upstairs. The guards eventually return. After they do a few patrols, they kind of give like an all clear. And the guards return to the main room back at their posts. Once that's cleared, Ryrak is taken for his testimony, for his statements, while you're waiting in the common area. During this time, the rest of you in the cells, are you doing anything?
Imri's just kind of counting the individual stone bricks to pass the time.
Just examining the cell. Just seeing if there's anything that could be of use or noteworthy.
All right. Make a perception check. Actually, no, make a investigation check.
19.
So you kind of go through the cell, kind of looking over things, and you're looking under the cots. You're looking at there's things that people have like carved in the walls, like lines. I guess how many days have been there. Some of them they've tried to refill in, but other people have just scratched things in the stone. However, during your looking about as you're kind of crawling under the bed, just trying to see like any loose bits or any loose stone, anything unusual, this little gem falls out of your pocket and just kind of clink, clinking, clink, and just rolls out in front of you.
What's this? Where did I get this?
Yeah, it's a little glossy, greenish gray, sparkling gemstone.
Just gonna pick it up, look at it. So it's gonna activate his detect magic again.
And it is indeed
I
magical.
Swear to fucking God. I swear to God.
It is magic?
This is ridiculous.
Where's a sonic screwdriver when you need one?
Yeah.
Please, someone, when we get out of here, take that away from him.
Oh. So this is the all the magics. Where did I get this? Weird.
We totally didn't mention that you should have a gem on hand.
Guys,
Or anything like
is
that.
this the gym? Is this the gym you guys were talking about?
Imri's gonna look over to him. Do you not remember that?
No, I don't remember this at all.
Okay, don't, well, that should be a red flag to you. It's a gleaming one to me, though. Barth. Praise
Yeah?
Newt that you're alive.
Thanks, Newt. I think. I guess. So I guess I'll just hold on to it for now. It's really freaking magical. Probably attuned to it, you know?
No.
That's what it looks like.
I feel like you might forget about it again if you do that.
What do you mean again?
Oh yeah, sorry. I feel like you might forget oh wait, yeah, no, you would know about it. Sorry. I feel like you might forget about it if you do that. Call it a hunch, because you knew about it, earlier today.
I don't know. I forget things all the time.
Hey, look at this.
Hey, man.
This session is a magical ride. Holy crap.
It's definitely something something different.
So what did you forget, Barth?
Well, someone decided to attune to a rock, and that rock said, "No, you," and made him forget about it.
Oh right, I fucking pushed the rock. Okay, so we got the gym. then afterwards we got arrested, and while we were in jail, Barth discovered that he can now see magic. So he saw that the rock was very magical, and he could probably attune to it. So he decided to. Then he met the. Then once he did, he met the Mind Flayer Lich, the great Mind Flayer Lich is called that was connected to the eye, and was like, hey, and I was like, and Barth was like, oh god, this is terrifying, and then he this is bad, and then he de-attuned to it, and then because of that he forgot all about it. And now he just found the gym again, so. And now he doesn't remember anything about the gym, so he's contemplating reattuning to it.
Give it to me.
Also, we were tempted
To leave.
the Centaur guy, the Centaur guard captain, tried to smuggle us out, but there was actually a setup to get us, to frame us even more for some reason. Normally it's a bit overkill, but okay. And then we killed him, and he turned out to be a some kind of abomination that is that appears to have infiltrated the guards and moved back into our cells. And then Barth found the gym again.
I swear to God, if you attuned to that thing, I was going to beat your ass.
Give me here.
Now Ari is super hungry even after eating all her friends' breakfasts.
Can I eat the rock? Come
I
on.
think you
Come
can
on.
eat. I don't think you can eat rocks. That's probably. Yeah, I think this is important.
Fine.
no,
Can I
no.
eat the egg?
I don't have. No, you can't eat that. It's important for some reason. I think. Maybe. I don't know.
I need
Who knows what
something.
Newt works in strange ways.
You can have my breakfast, and he slides over his cold breakfast that he didn't eat.
It's a few hours old.
Speaking of breakfast,
Okay.
my chicken tenders are done.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah.
So, Ari, you are given a glossy greenish gray sparkling gemstone that can barely fit in the palm of your
No,
hand.
he didn't give it to her.
I thought-
He still has it.
Oh, I thought you gave it to her.
He gave Ari his uneaten breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to give this down too.
No.
Oh.
We're just gonna hold on to the stone for now. It's probably going
Ari
to
will
do it
remember
again.
that.
Ari will remember that.
Everyone liked that, but Ari. All right. So, let's see here. And do you do anything else with the stone, Barth?
Kind of tempted to attune to it again, but not right now, because I don't really think there'd be any. Because it would probably just be the exact same. I'd probably just de-attune to it again, so I'm not going to just yet.
Barth.
Oh no, you're gonna not one, and it's gonna take control of you.
Barth? So, you hear a voice in your head.
Oh no. Hey, what do you need? What's the voice
It's
say?
not what I need. But what you seek, I know.
So just so
No, oh, I know.
Okay.
I know what afflicts the girl. Bond with me, and I will share my insight with you.
Wait, you're not Newt.
And no, I am something much more tangible and reasonable.
That's not particularly hard, but to achieve. Well, how can I try? What do you?
Say it again, you cut off.
What do you know?
I know why she slumbers.
Yeah, it's called fucking trauma of losing your arm.
Alright. What do you... What are you?
Knowledge. Ancient and immortal.
Alright. What do you want from me? You know, things like you always want something.
In due time. For now, focus on the gem. Focus deeply on the gem.
Alright, Barth will do it.
As far as we learn this lesson, let's do it.
I swear to God,
Alright.
the longer this party exists, the more cursed we get.
Yeah, probably.
So, spending another hour attuning to the gem. Once you're attuned, a scene you don't remember replays again as everything turns black and white. The kind of mist rolls through the prison hallways. The voice is more pronounced. And you see the disembodied floating head appear before your cell.
Well, it's about what I expected, really.
Barth, I know what you seek. You only need to ask.
How can I save her?
She has been mocked by Fey power. She can only be saved by entering their realm.
Alright, so how do I go about doing that?
You're attuned to an archfey. Ask her.
Alright. doesn't really know how to contact Newt, so he's just gonna hesitantly just sort of to the air. He's gonna ask, "Hey, Newt, you there?"
She cannot hear you from here, for within you're in my domain. Now, I possess knowledge that many seek. Many men have died to possess such knowledge. The knowledge that I have will lead to great treasures. Treasures that can help you reunite with your loved one.
So what do you want from me?
That is a question best answered in time. For now, all you need to know is that I know where the vault is located. But I also know what many do not. The vault cannot be entered unless one possesses 3 keys. And the vault is guarded by a powerful dragon named Laren Mahadragnigar.
Of course it is. 'Cause, things can never be easy, can they?
No, and it's not any easier as one of your own cannot fully be trusted. They have been marked by great evil power. Beware. They will cost you much. More precious. Something more precious than any treasure in that vault. And you see kind of a shadowy wisp form out of the mist, and it takes the shape of Sunosha before it just kind of dissolves back into the mist that's covering the floor.
Ron, you Elodia.
I mean, last session it was hobos, this session it was little children. So,
Alright. You wouldn't happen to have any advice on getting out of a more immediate situation, would you? Oh, strange floating skull thing.
you will think of something, you're a bright boy. But if you do fail in your endeavor, I can seek out others to assist. It would be in your best interest to not fail.
That's about what I expected.
And the mist starts to level out and thin. As it does, the floating head also just starts to turn into mist. It's like a mist waterfall as it dissipates. And then once the mist kind of seeps away, almost going into the cracks of the stonework from the cells, the color restores to the cell block.
Did I hear him speaking in slurs again?
You saw him very intently staring into his hand.
Imri's just gonna stare at him in disbelief. Barth, you did it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Do you at least... Well, you know what? Never mind. You actually remember this time. Okay.
What do you mean this time?
You were slurring in your room earlier, and then you forgot about the rock. It's very easy to put two and two together that it probably made you forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still attuned to it.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting the same thing this time.
Well, you know, it apparently knows what's wrong with Zenosha, so
Of course it does.
yeah. Freaky, floating, talking, psychic skull thing.
What?
You okay over there, Barth?
That's what it was.
Did your freaky floating skull thing have an eyeball in it too?
No? I don't know what you're talking about,
Should
Harry.
we be questioning you too?
Oh,
You know what?
weren't-
Imri's gonna throw up her hands. Fuck it. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to know what weird things you've been seeing.
Well, we should... come up with some kind of a plan of what to do.
Who here's good at bullshitting their way out of situations? Through talking, not weapons.
I mean, he's a warlock. he's good at bullshitting his way into situations as well. We might be able to convince them of something, especially with the incident that was that, maybe. And he gestures over towards the hallway as he says that, very clearly implying the whatever the guard was that.
You know, I've realized that my, I'm starting to become, very accurate with guessing when something's too convenient. Maybe I should just stop being skeptical. Maybe it'll all end up right.
That was a bit too convenient now that you think about it.
So, what noble did we even... And she does quotation marks, assault? I don't even remember doing that.
Probably the, probably the one that was with the carrot. Well, actually, he didn't see that noble. I
There
don't
was
know,
somebody
maybe it was-
yelling from the carriage.
Maybe it was, you know, the other night.
Hmm.
He's,
Yeah, I
referring
don't
to-
think we actually heard any nobles.
I don't think that the truth of the matter is exactly the important bit here. Oh,
Just setting up for the next part.
Oh no, we're in a courtroom.
Doom, 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 doom.
Wait, hold on. Why is Rarak in the judge's seat? Oh no, he's betrayed us.
No, he's on the bench with Cindy over there, behind you.
Oh god, there's two of them.
Yes, the same sprite models have been used. So, you're still in your cells here, but you are told that the magistrate will be seeing you shortly on his docket. The magistrate has already heard the testimony of the arresting officers, as well as the eyewitnesses for your various crimes. And they tell you that you will be seeing the magistrate within an hour to plead your case, as he will ask you questions. So you'll be seeing the magistrate in about an hour.
So, while we wait, who wants to play I Spy?
Wait, what crimes am I being charged with now?
So I will go over it again for Aries' sake. This is what the clerk, was telling Cindy with them. That's when it was kind of read out. But yeah, the list includes assaulting of a lord, which, if found guilty, the penalty is death. Assaulting of a known noble, and this is 3 accounts of this. If convicted, each account would be flogging, imprisonment up to a 10-day per account, as well as a fine up to 500 gold per account. Brandishing of weapons without due cause. If found guilty, it will be imprisonment up to a 10-day and or a fine up to 10 gold. Hampering of justice, fine up to 200 gold, and hard labor up to a 10-day. Littering, fine up to 2 gold, and as well as an edict from the magistrate. Vandalism, which comes with a fine of imprisonment up to a 10-day plus fine, other fines and or damages, covering the costs of repairs up to 100 gold. Tomb robbing, which, found guilty, imprisonment up to a 10-day and damages covering the cost of repairs plus 500 gold. Assaulting a citizen, imprisonment up to a 10-day, flogging and damages up to 1,000 gold. Intimidating a citizen, fine or damages up to 500 gold, as well as an edict from the magistrate. Damaging of property, damages covering the cost of repairs or replacement plus up to 500 gold. Disturbing the peace, which is a fine up to 25 gold, as well as an edict from the magistrate. Murdering of a citizen without justification. Exile up to 5 years, or hard labor up to 3 years, or damages up to 1,000 gold paid to the victim's kin, as well as using magic to influence a citizen without consent, fine or damages up to 1,000 gold, and an edict from the magistrate.
Look, I'll confess to disturbing the peace. The rest of that, that's them.
I don't know these assholes!
What did we litter?
They have gone through quite a thorough list.
Yeah, I just want to address the one that I know for a fact I didn't do.
Alright, so...
I think I may have beat a noble in a card game, but would it mean that he's a sore loser if he says that I beat him up?
I mean, how hard did you beat him in that card game?
May have cried home to mommy.
Well, so you do have an hour to kind of prep a game plan for when you're brought to the magistrate. So what's the plan? Or do you even have one?
I really just want to murder this entire fucking city.
Right, so
We have literally caused this situation to ourselves.
I'm gonna plead not guilty to most of this.
Yeah?
I was assaulted on some of the other accounts, so it was self-defense.
We should
And I will
probably
plead.
accept the we should probably accept the littering charge, just to, you know.
I will plead guilty to the lesser charges and ask for lenience. And if they somehow have evidence, I'm blaming all of. As you know, I come from a very noble family. You would never do something like.
Motherfucker, don't you dare throw your best friend underneath the parade train, car,
Beep,
buggy,
beep.
horse. What was that?
Beep, beep. Do you see that bus?
Beep, beep.
I counted your bus with my own bus.
Look, I know about the prisoner's dilemma. I win if I get you all.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's why we should work together to make this happen.
But in all seriousness, we do actually need a plan here.
Yeah, I have no idea, I'll be honest with you, Chief.
Yeah, me neither. I got nothing.
It's fine. The neutral evil characters definitely got a plan here.
Okay, so far that's pleading for leniency on the lesser charges.
You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna plead for leniency. Play the family card. Except the fact that when I get back to Aurora, I'm in a lot. You know, at this point, I'm not gonna be able to take over any part of the family. Thanks, guys. You're a great friend.
And remember, you have family in Aurora now. More family than you wanted in Aurora.
Yeah, I'm kind of screwed here, guys. Thanks. But maybe at least you know it won't be, you know, a half-orc, half-dwarf.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm now just imagining a midget working in herbs.
I think those are called goblins.
Yeah?
Maybe that's how goblins are made.
Oh, no, you know, goblins are just spores.
They're the fungus that the orcs scrape off their feet. They just grow. They're like mushrooms. They just grow in dark, damp places, and then they go around the world terrorizing.
Yeah?
All right.
You know what? To go along with my story of self-defense, I being framed. Look at the thing that broke into this prison cell and tried to hurt, and then tried to frame me.
Frame us all, yeah.
It's
It
obviously
does seem...
someone is trying to set us up, you know, because they're trying to get revenge on my.
There could be more subversive elements in the guard force.
Although, do you have a plan?
Nope.
All right. Well, if that's all the planning that you have, the good.
Go ahead before we go in there. Pop my channel
Too bad we don't have a lawyer in a can.
Yeah, I know, right?
I thought
That-
about it. They have you a theory.
It was all building to this.
Don't worry, he's having to use lawyer in the can at the moment to get out of his own court case. He may have shot the wrong city.
Yeah, she shot the moon. That's why there's a big crater in the moon.
Oh god!
He's actually just Vash and Stampede.
Oh, then he's got like $1 billion bounty or whatever ridiculous number it was.
Yeah.
But Technically, that is not a bad analogy because the area that he and her would be at is kind of a Wild West lawless area. It's where a lot of people will try to retreat to because it's not actively governed.
So the fact that he would have a revolver is just way too perfect.
Yeah.
Because his main thing was he reaches for his gun.
Because that Alabaster Plateau is all just where a lot of people try to escape to or flee to make a second life. A lot of them are criminals. But some of them don't go back to a criminal life. Others use that experience to survive. And others try to use that to their advantage in that lawless area. And then comes Aetherius with his gun. Frontier justice.
Can I take out my gun?
And it doesn't hurt that he's also kind of like part Indiana Jones, part Simon Belmont, so makes it even more fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's having a bunch of adventures.
Listen, it's all fun and games until he throws a bottle of holy water at someone.
Or he finds something that belongs in a museum. So, all right, well, you all are brought from your cells, escorted to the main courtroom. You are having a seat. You see Lord Rorak and you see Cindy already in here waiting for your arrivals. Once you arrive, you see a heavily armored knight come out, and he announces for everybody to rise. So the magistrate makes his way into the courtroom. He is introduced as Umberto Zastro, the Prime Magistrate of Reldon.
I feel like that is a time.
You feel however you want to feel, Cindy, but he is a half-elf. He's, I guess you could call it handsome. I mean, he's not really flawed or anything. His complexion is fairly fair and almost perfect. He does have a bit air of seriousness to him as he walks with a purpose and sits down and bangs a little mallet, little gavel on the desk. And to save the time, they will read the charges out before you. And what say you of the crimes that you are being accused of?
I'm innocent.
You plead innocent of all charges against you.
I mean, I got caught up in the activity and hustle and bustle. Maybe I did cause a wee bit of disturbance, but.
And before this, just a long con to get us to, or admit to the littering.
But I never assaulted anybody without just cause.
Yes, any charges of assault were that of those that did in fact happen were purely self-defense, and some of those are complete fabrications of that. The ones that did were purely self-defense.
And which one of these would be in self-defense?
Well, there's a lot there, and they're not. Well, there's a lot there, and they're not particularly very specific for which one of them would be which one is which? Self-defense.
Well, whom have you had to defend yourself against?
The demons.
I'm sorry, did you say demons?
Yep.
And then there were also those Mouths of Madness members that attacked us. We definitely had to defend against them. And then
Whatever it was in that hallway.
that too. That hallway was, whatever that thing was certainly
I'm a
subversive.
paladin. I'm a paladin. These things tend to happen, so I deeply apologize. But I've done nothing wrong other than, cause a bit of disturbance in the street.
Really? What about the reports of tomb robbing? And the bodies of the citizens found within? We have several witnesses that have reported you entering the tomb, exiting the tomb, and the bodies found within.
We did enter the tomb. We did not kill those people. They had entered ahead of us, and they had killed each other. In fact, there were 3 in there. One who was dying as we found her, and we rescued her. She could serve as a witness if she could be located, which I'm not sure that she could be. We didn't really get a name. Did we get a name for her?
We did get a name for
Yes.
Oh, okay, then we did get a name for her. So he'll tell the name of the person, and she can serve as a witness because we did save her life.
And avenge your boyfriend.
We don't mention that part.
And what about slaughtering a noble's carriage animals in an alleyway?
that
That
was
was-
the
Yeah, that was the demon. One of the guardsmen of the nobleman summoned it for some reason, and it went berserk and killed the guard and the nobleman. Or, which I don't actually
No,
remember.
no, it didn't.
No, it didn't kill the nobleman. I'm sorry, I'm misremembering it. Killed the guard, and we had to defend ourselves against the demon. And
Make a charisma deception check for me, please.
natural 20, 27.
Okay, the magistrate just kind of marked something on his one of his scrolls up there. Okay. What about the charge of intimidating one of our citizens? A stable master reported you were accompanied with a gnome who is no longer present here and has not been seen. Was threatening one of the stable masters. Even reported one of his animals had gone missing.
Oh, that's when everybody took me to go see the ponies. The problem is the little gnome, he's a druid, and he gets really upset about that kind of stuff. But I don't...
Well,
He didn't mean it as an insult, he's just... Druids have those kind of outbursts.
Believed he threatened to remove the citizen's head from his body.
well,
He did?
He has a weird sense of humor.
well, that's just what you. That's what you. I don't know if I would say it's a sense of humor. It's more of, well, he was raised by honey badgers apparently, and they tend to be more bluster than actual threats. His bark is worse than his bite, is saying it may go. And besides, what are his crimes should not be laid at our feet. Anyway.
Well, how about a crime directed at you, sir? We have a gnomish shopkeep witnessed you using magic to influence a citizen within his very own shop. Very own clockmaker's shop.
Yeah, he just kind of slow turns to Barth.
A woman and her child were subjugated to your magics.
It wasn't magic. I don't have... Like, okay, out of character, it wasn't magic specifically, but I understand. It could be... Well, I mean... It wouldn't have any of the telltale... It wouldn't have any of the, like, actual, like, indicators of magic, so... Also, I think we were, like, in the back at that time, so I don't know how that guy saw us. But, I don't even know if we'd be able to even, like, recognize that anything abnormal happened. Because, you know, it's just... Well, whatever.
Well, remember the woman and the child, they were getting ready to purchase the mirrored locket.
I don't think they were actually, like, at the counter. He met them where he found it, and then he convinced
Yeah,
them.
they were on their way because the child liked it, and then you were convincing to not get that. That's where your other ability came into play to help convince, which worked.
Yeah. I have no recollection of this happening at all, and it doesn't unless you can present any proof. It's just going to be my word against his, and which is no proof at all.
Imri is now debating a lot of things mentally about the group that she has allowed herself to be.
Hey, innocent until proven guilty is a thing. They don't have any proof that there was any magic occurred.
Irene can shut the fuck up because she stabbed the guard and falsely accused us of rape.
Who now works for us, so we know everything worked out in the end.
Yeah, and he's now getting paid a lot of money.
Ironically, that is the one thing that is not on this list.
Because he knows to keep quiet.
Or else it'll be the next part.
I mean, he's already lost a good bit of parts, so...
Poor guy.
Look, if he works for me long enough and effectively enough, we'll get him back.
Boggle!
It boggles off boggling.
Boggle is smart and got out of here before the cops came.
Unless any evidence of this magic can be what's the word I'm looking for? Presented. That charge should be dismissed.
And then Barth gets manhandled by the relevant lie detector.
Well, they're also reviewing his initial case as well during this time. But that seems to be the least of the issues right now.
Yeah, illegal gambling, yep. Barth seems to get arrested a lot for some reason.
Well, this time was much more pleasant than the Bastille.
Yeah, there's no relevant lie detector.
Yeah, there's no Minotaurs beating the crap out of you with a club.
No luck in this campaign, man.
Yeah, to be fair, that was kind of the intention with Barth.
This is true.
His whole like inciting incident is his ship sinks, he loses his arm, and then as he's drowning, Newt mistakes his drowning flails as wishing to enter into a contract with her.
Sounds right.
Yeah, he was conscripted by Faye.
Christ! What?
Yeah, that's his backstory. He was the first mate on a trading ship, the Gallant Drake, And one day it went down in the storm, and he got caught up in the rigging. Because of that, his arm got severed, and as he was drowning, Newt showed up, and she was like, and she thought that his drowning was asking to be saved. He wasn't even aware of what was going on at the time. Yeah. Barth just has the worst luck. Alright.
Well. So, let's see. Ignore that. Tomb robbing.
Also, we did not actually take anything while we were in. We had been searching for the woman that we ended up saving.
Well, be that as it may, you had no right entering the Lord's family crypts.
Aye, that may be true.
Okay.
But if we didn't, we wouldn't be able to stop the demons.
We have seen no proof or evidence of these fiendish creatures that you've been speaking of.
It's very convenient that demons dissolve into. Yeah, wow.
So
Anyway.
we can be charged, but when I give my testimony to it, it doesn't hold weight.
Well, with lack of evidence proving your case, it makes things a little more difficult to believe what you say when there's nothing to support your claims. However,
My faith is my proof.
in accordance with our procedures and investigations, as well as some of the recent happenings here in the courthouse, communing with the dead has revealed a few interesting things. You'll not be charged with any of the slayings or assaults within the courthouse, as the dead have confirmed that it was not you that murdered the guards in the cell block. It was something posing as the captain.
Which we did kill and expose. We would like that to be.
Which is why any crimes tied to this is being dropped from you. We have found the body of the real captain. He was apparently slain by this creature. Now, we are investigating some of the other reports, especially with the revelation of this creature. So, unless we can find other evidence that proves that you were present and committed some of these other heinous acts, we will grant the request of leniency. per the testimony of Lord Royak. However, you all are found guilty of the following crimes: disturbing the peace, tomb robbing, and damaging of property within said family tomb. So, with that, all the charges are currently being waived unless evidence comes forth proving your involvement with them. Checking something here. Alright, so just one of those. And should be in this here. Alright, so yeah, you know what? That will work. The total charges here. So you're going to be paying a total fine of 1,025 gold, and the magistrate, his edict is you will report immediately to one of the halfling guild members, who will help repair the family crypts that you broke into, to help repair the damages, as well as clean the Sanguine River graveyard, basically picking up trash, help keeping the grounds clean for the next 10 days. That is the decision of this court. And he slams the gavel. The knight says you may rise. And he...
Do not rise.
Wait, does it have to be me, or can hired help do it?
Each Ari, Barth, Imri, and Elodia are the ones that are going to be doing those tasks. So, the armored knight, with his polished steel armor, steps forward. Take this to the clerk. You will release your property that was confiscated by the arresting officers, and as mentioned by your sentence, you are to report to the Carpentry Guild so that they can, and the stonemason, so that they may repair the damages. And once that's done, you will help clean the grounds as ordered by the magistrate, and you'll have 30 days to pay the fines. Have a nice day. You are free to go.
Well, we're gonna just make our way out of the courtroom.
Okay.
Well, once the judge has left the room, I stand.
Okay.
So once we're out so they're out of earshot. So, what's keeping us from just saying fuck this and bailing down?
Well, I mean, besides being fugitives at that point for skipping out of your assigned retribution with that.
Does anybody intend to come back here ever again?
Fuck no.
Don't you own an establishment here?
You kind of have the business here. We did
It's
sink
only
a
for
lot
10
of-
days.
See, we did sink a lot of money into that, and they would probably repossess it if we Diane.
And business is booming right now.
Yeah. So on all that money.
So it's up to you what you want to do. Though also skipping town also means that
Here for 2 more weeks. Fuck it.
also means skipping out on whatever treasure that this gem that Barth has mysteriously is supposed to lead you to.
Before it's only 5 gold.
The way our luck's going, there's going to be nothing down there. Or we're going to find it and someone's going to take it all. Area is just ready to go home. Well,
No, it's just
but I can't go home because I'm stuck here for at least another 2 weeks.
And Barth, you're the only one that knows the other details about that vault.
yeah. Yeah.
Please do share them. There's a certain other detail that would be really nice if you should.
Well, you see, y'all are talking about how y'all don't want to be here anymore, and he really needs to get that. He really needs to find that treasure. So if you all, for some reason, maybe found out that there were some things in there that you wouldn't really want to deal with,
Like,
you
I don't
may
know.
want to leave, and then he's out of luck, and it's like, he has his own priorities here, my guys. He has things that he needs to accomplish. Just, just saying. So maybe he won't be mentioning some of the things. He should, but hey, if you guys were a little bit more supportive of him, he might help out. He might be a little bit.
I've been supportive of you, you fuck!
Alright, tell you what. You know what? I'll pay half of this. Let me just.
So you're gonna pay half of the
Sleight of
1,000
hand,
GP.
Something out of Barth's bag.
Wait, what was that?
I'm taking a head out of your bag real quick. Don't worry, guys. I'll pay half of this. I'm good for it.
No, you're not. No, you're not taking this stuff.
You already made the roll.
You'll have to.
Let's see.
This is 17.
You have advantage on perception check.
Don't take my stuff, Harry. I'm gonna fuck it.
You see, Ari is taking out the head of the.
The half golem.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go take this back. I heard it's worth some money, so.
And Barth's gonna clamp his hand down on your shoulder. He's like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that, Ari?
I took it out of your bag.
At least you're honest. Give it back."
Is that what I think it is?
Read.
Yeah, he tried to shank me.
Well, at the very least, we need it to confirm to the I can't remember their names that we have dealt with the problem.
That's what I was
Then
gonna
you-
do.
And
Please give them to me.
You
I
know
will
what,
be
guys? How about
taking
we
it
all just
there
go
again.
together?
Yes, how about we all just go together, and I will hold on to that, Harry, and after we have told them about our success, if they do not need it, then you can sell it.
Well, no, I was taking it back to them for the treasure. Here, if you're going to do it, just there's my share. I'm gonna go start working in the carpet. I'll see y'all there.
Alright.
Bart, please.
He has his
Really?
hand out.
Let us go to the temple of
Oh, it is wonderful. The House of Animated Connections, yeah.
yeah. And then he's going to walk out the door and make his way there.
I put a hand on your shoulder when you start walking away.
What is it that you want?
I want to carry it.
I don't see why.
Because you call him a gift. He is one of my kind.
He killed dozens of people, Cindy.
I am aware.
Let us be going, and he's gonna shake you off, and he's gonna keep moving, keep walking.
I make a grab for the head.
Oh,
Oh God, we're doing this now, aren't we?
all right. So, make a athletics or acrobatics check to try to grab the head, and Barth, you can make a athletics check to try to keep the head.
I'm using my inspiration.
Well, it's a tie.
All right. Well, you keep the head on the tie, but Cindy is pulling quite hard on the skull, the head of the half golem.
Barth is going to. That's not gonna work. Right now. Oh my God. Cindy, let go. It's not.
Do not call him an it. Give him to me. We are going to the same place.
Then why do you want it so badly?
Because you do not respect him.
It's a corpse who killed people. You are being irrational.
You will not let me carry Enoch, one of my species, to the place we're all going. For no reason.
I have a
He
very
had
good
no
reason.
chance.
That doesn't excuse what he did.
I am not trying to excuse what he did.
During this, Imri's just gonna walk away to go join Ari.
Okay.
Let go.
No.
Okay, kids, that's enough. Give me the
Oh
head.
God, Mama,
I'll take the
will you?
head. That's enough. Give me the damn head. head. I'll take the head. I'll carry it there, and then Cindy, you can present it to whoever is at that place. If that.
Barth is going to try to knock Cindy prone.
Are you doing like the athletics push or something else to knock them prone?
Yeah, he's gonna like sweep his legs. 15.
All right, Cindy, make a athletics check.
I didn't mean that to be just
Alright, I'm just gonna say this right now. It's like watching two toddlers fight each other. You guys are making no headway.
Right? Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
Should I take the head and run away with it?
make an athletics or acrobatics check to try to take the head. Barth, make a athletics check to try to retain the head. So while you're trying to trip Cindy, Elodia comes and grabs the head and starts running off.
I'm just
Just
keep
throw
running,
it to
and I'll just be like, I'll meet you there.
I wish I had a music cue for Yakety Sax right now.
Look what.
Cindy
Barth's
clenches his fists.
Barth's going to immediately give chase after Elodia. Not necessarily
Okay.
so much. Whatever. He's just gonna. He'll take the hit. He doesn't care.
All right, go ahead. and-
You're just taking the hit?
He doesn't care about the stupid irrational robot.
It's not irrational.
That's what he sees it as.
It's pretty fucking irrational.
It's a dead body.
Yeah, it is a dead body.
So, Cindy, make your attack roll on Barth.
Never mind.
I actually understand like where Cindy's coming from, so that's why like I was gonna let. Okay, I have the heads. Let's go.
All right, Lydia. Let's go.
All right, so
Go with Elodia to the temple.
okay, so you three are going returning back to the temple. Emery, you wanted to catch up with Eri, while the others go meet Vera.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna be going off with him. Her. It. Pink hair.
Yep, Aries just trotting along.
Now, Eri, you're going to the Wonderbringer Temple as well? I thought you were giving that to them so you can go somewhere else.
She went with Aries, and Aries just heading off to do the carpentry.
All right, well, he told you to meet the next day with them because they have to give the masonry, the extent of your sentence and everything with it. They got to give him the details. So,
Then Aries just heading home.
yeah, so the sentencing would actually start the next day. All right. Eimer, are you still tagging with Aries? You go back to the Dragon's Flower.
Yes.
Okay. A few things, interesting things are going to go with that. So let's resolve the House of Animated Connections here. So, three of you, as you're walking through the streets of Dragon's Village, going back to the Temple of the Wonderbringer, Temple is as has been relatively unchanged. Not a lot of commotion in the streets here. At least you haven't seen any on your way here. No guild wars or any other unusual occurrences. As you enter in the main halls, again you see the rows of just contraptions. There's a large kind of gong that's being sound. It sounds like they're trying to begin another mass. Along the hallway, you see a familiar acolyte, very nervous-looking elven lad, the long blonde hair, the emerald green eyes, and he kind of sees you three at the other end of the hall and just freezes for a moment.
Well, that's not good.
So, what do y'all do? He hasn't moved. He just kind of just stops awkwardly, like,
Barth's going to very casually walk up to him and greet him. We have news for. I can't remember her name. Would you please go and
Fira.
Would you let her know that we are here?
Yes, right away. And he just kind of shuffles off with his hands tucked in his sleeves, moving by some of the other senior priests that are just moving by, bringing bits for the upcoming ceremony. After a few minutes, the bronze half-dragon comes walking back towards all three of you. Welcome back. So, how can I help you? Is it done?
It is done.
Praise the Wonder Bringer. No more lives need to be lost to the one who was lost long ago. And she just nods. And do you have proof of the deed?
Yes, we have it here. He's gonna gesture to Elodia.
I'm gonna take the head and then give it to her.
And she takes it and she wraps it in a cloth. It's a shame one fell so far from the guidance of the Wonderbringer. Let this be a lesson. And she kind of looks at all of you, especially Cindy. What you do here echoes in this world and into the next. Be careful the messages that you send. Let me follow me. And she gestures for all three of you to kind of follow her back to the back tabernacle where some of the other priests' quarters are at. She leads you through a set of hallways to a room that's got some of their supplies, and she pulls this kind of a bronze lockbox, and she removes a key from her neck, and she unlocks it, and there's coin in there, and she begins counting out the coins, 500 of them, and puts them in a little cloth that she ties tight. Well, here's one part of your payment as agreed upon. It's the least that the servants of the Wonderbringer can do. However, you were also promised a reward of one of the Wonderbringer's inventions. And she brings you to this shelf that has a few interesting contraptions on it. One of them looks like it's a pair of adjustable stilts. And she explains to you that when you put these on, that they will increase your height by anywhere from 2 to 5 feet. Useful if you need to reach higher places for longer times without tiring yourself. And she just kind of shows you like how they, you'd have to put them on and they would extend, or you can just fully collapse them, which they're about a foot when they're fully collapsed. This next one is very peculiar. And it looks like an interesting backpack, but inside of it has a series of tough bits of cloth. If you have this on and you open this backpack, the cloth will slow your descent. It does not open fast though, so if you're falling from a height of 60 feet or less, it will not help you. But if you find yourself, let's say, falling from much greater heights, this can save your life. You can reuse it. You just have to be careful placing the cloth back. And as long as you keep the backpack in fair condition, it will keep you in fair condition. Basically, it's a parachute. The next thing she pulls up is this little ornate box. It almost looks like a little cube. It's like a little metallic bronze cube, 6 inches per side. But it's got this brightly colored yellow crank at the top. And she explains that when you wind this, that the box can work for about 8 hours. And what it does is it will let out like a bark, like from a dog, when it detects any kind of vibrations within 15 feet of it, as long as the box and the source of the vibrations are in contact with the same surface. So if something was walking, essentially, or moving on that surface, it will let you know. You can also adjust the sound if you want it to be a small, cutie dog bark or a large, mean junkyard dog bark, depending on what you want it set to. The last item that she offers on the shelf here looks like a little smoking pipe. Built inside of it, she shows that there's a switch, a flint, that when you activate it on this seamlessly polished wooden smoking pipe, a couple of flicks from that flint and the pipe will light the contents. It's a matchless self-lighting pipe. And you're welcome to take any one of those.
Do you have a preference, Elodia?
Not really. What do you think we could use the most?
I think the parachute will probably be the most useful.
Yeah, okay, we'll go for the bag. The backpack.
The backpack, okay. So, with that, just making a note of that here. All right, she lets you take the backpack. She shows you how the pouch is fitted. And with that, as long as you keep it in good condition. Now, it is not magical in a sense. It's more function, but as long as you keep it in good condition, it will be reusable. And any creature of small or medium size can equip the parachute. And I'll let you all discuss who you want to actually carry that wonderful item. But there's like... She walks you through the halls again, leaving the skull of the half golem in that room as she closes the door. Walks you back through the tabernacle to the front again. I have duties that call, but you are always welcome here. We cannot thank you enough for what you have done for the Wonderbrinker and the community.
Before you go, do you remember what I asked you about last time we spoke?
About the injured... About Senosha's arm?
Yeah. He's wondering if there's anything that could be done, because, he doesn't really know that much about magic, so he doesn't know about the regenerate spell or anything specifically.
Tell you what, I will go personally and take a look at this girl and see what is going on with her and what can be done.
Thank you. I would be very grateful. I would be in your debt if you were to do that.
All right, and she will make arrangements to see Sunosha at the Dragon's Flower. Speaking of, we're going to move over to Eri and Amory. So you both returned to the Dragon's Flower while they were getting the rewards from the and the favors from the Church of the Wonderbringer. As you return to the Dragon's Flower, it's bustling activity. Sounds like there's a bard playing a lute inside. There's roaring laughter. There's plates clattering. There's drunken singing. Entering inside, you can see it's just as busy as it sounds. A lot of smiles on the patrons' faces. I would like... Well, first, what do you both do once you enter in?
Eri is going to assess the situation, see how people are doing, and then talk with the staff, make sure things are going fine. Make sure a certain cousin is doing well.
That dwarven cousin, huh?
Yeah, before I go kidnap Paul and
so
sit him down and have a lesson.
So your dwarven cousin seems be doing fine, though does seem to be a little needy, a little pushy, but other than that, seems to be in fine order. The rest of the staff seems to be doing well. The kitchen staff has everything under control. There has been no accidents or peculiar meals, unlike previous staff. People seem to have heard about the the ghost bartender, and they always want to see the bartender, though he doesn't always make his appearance. Though when he does, people do clamor to see what's going on with that. Some people dismiss it as simple parlor trick magic. Others just tell them to shut up as they try to see what's going on. Regardless, nobody breaks into a fight. Everything's in good spirits in more than one sense. Your larder's doing well. Your ale stocks are doing well. You're still good for the rest of the month. Your kitchen staff, they know what they're doing. Hal is not in the lower area, though. He does not seem to be in any of the commons, the kitchen area, or even in the cellar.
upstairs then.
What about you, Eimer?
I can hear you talking, but you're not talking.
She is going to look around for a little bit, making sure everything's fine before she goes to get some ale and immediately start relaxing, because it's been a long 2 days.
Where does she go?
Actually, no, she's gonna get her ale and then she's gonna go find. Or there's a private place to take baths here, right?
Yeah, in the upstairs, which you don't have open to the public just yet. That's all your private areas on the next two floors.
She's gonna go and take a nice long bath.
Okay. So, since you both are going upstairs, you both notice something as you traverse the steps. There's a little more green on the steps than you remember. By green, I'm talking leaves, vines, flowers. The more you go up the stairs, the more this plant life seems to force itself. That wasn't here before. When you make your way up the first floor steps and you see the adjoining hallway, it looks like not quite like kudzu, but it's just like vines, flowers, green everywhere. Like you can't see the stonework, you can't see the wooden floors, boards. It's still the shape of a hallway, and you can see like some of the doorways, but everything is just covered in plant life.
Barth?
He is not here right now.
Definitely Barth.
No, yeah. Do you think that it's infested the, bathroom?
I hope not.
Yeah,
let's go
I
check
had
on
to go through a
Samantha.
sewer. I'd really like to take a bath.
I mean, Ari was technically with you with that trek, so you would have gotten a shower while you were in the
Yes,
The courthouse.
A nice private shower.
understood, but you know, you wouldn't be covered in fecal matter and other bodily waste.
I'm gonna go check on Sinosha, make sure she hasn't turned into a dryad or anything while we've been gone.
Yeah, you go do that. I'm gonna go start the water, hopefully.
Okay.
Knowing our luck, right now it's instead of water gonna be more vine.
Alright, try not to get molested.
As you
Ow,
Would be a good
Sinosha.
alternative.
so you you go upstairs and like you see like a rabbit hopping. There's little emotes, just kind of golden emotes just floating about. And you go to one of the privies and you open it up, and there are flowers and vines, and you're just covering the whole thing. And you go to one of the areas that have some of the private baths, and the baths appear to be also covered in the greenery. However, they are also filled with water. And you can see like koi swimming in the water. The water seems like almost a clear turquoise color, but it also seems deeper than the actual tub would allow.
Boggle, what have you
You know
done?
what? You know what? This might work. I'm gonna do a smart thing first. I'm not gonna submerge myself. You know what? And she's gonna walk over to it, and she's gonna dunk her head into the water and look around for a moment.
Okay. Make a perception check with disadvantage because of dim light.
I actually have the gauntlets, the Goggles of Night. Would that help?
Goggles of Night would help, but they help you with the range that you can see with that because they give you the dark vision. But the area that you see extended with that is still dim light. So you can see further, you can see more of what's in there, but it's still dim light.
Alright. Yeah, I don't think she really sees much.
Yeah, like a little school of fish just come like swimming by you. But from the dark vision, you can see like none of it really makes sense in terms of physics dimensions because you're seeing far that it would be like going into the first floor and maybe
She
lower.
already understands that this has to do more of that weird fairy shit because she watched fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex. Alright? She already understands this is his fault. Yeah, since she can't really see too well in the water, she's gonna sigh. Come back with the fishing rod. And she's gonna go and find a fishing rod.
Okay. So, Ares, you're calling out for Hal. You don't hear him, but you said you were going to check on Senosha?
Yeah, she's going to check on everybody, starting with Senosha.
Okay. Well, the other compatriots aren't back yet, but you open Senosha's door. When you do, it's not the room that you recognize. In fact, it's not even a room. The interior looks like it's part of a forest, but the skyline that you see is almost just like a perpetual, almost like twilight, but the bits of rays from what would be the setting sun is more of a vibrant purple and turquoise. There's lots more of these blinking emotes floating about. You do not see Senosha. You don't see any furniture. In fact, when you turn to kind of look at the wall there, you don't even see a wall there.
That's why we carry darts.
You do see what looks to be Hal sleeping by a tree nearby.
Oh, sleeping on the job, is he? So I was going to test this dart on the wall, but I think I'm going to test this dart on the tree right above his, right above his...
Yeah, he's just curled up at the base of the tree like in a little fetal position.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your attack roll. You hit the tree, and when you hit it, like he just kind of like jolts for a bit, like looks around, like, huh, what? And he like looks up and he sees you, and he just kind of rubs his eyes a bit, and he's like, "Is it dead? Don't close that door!" And he like gets up, he's trying to scurry to get towards you.
Don't mind if I do.
Do you close the door?
No, I'm not that foolish.
Okay, so he comes running to the door and just tries to exit out of that room like as soon as possible.
Harry's gonna grab onto him and go through that doorway.
Okay, it's like no, what, no. So you're stepping through the door.
I'm not letting anything bad happen to you. Come on, we're getting out. If you tell me what happened, I won't dock your sleeping from your pay.
So do you fully step into the room?
Oh no.
You see, I know exactly what I said. But what I said is a bad idea.
Okay, because as you fully step into the room, You feel something latch on to your ankle and rip you up high into the trees. You also see something grab Hal as he is also lifted up. And you both look up to see this tree with moving branches, the vines curling around you, tightening as it has lifted you up about 30 feet off the ground. The door below you closing, and as it closes, vanishes.
Hal, we've been over this. Okay, we haven't been over this, but precise communication.
But that is where we're going to leave off for today's session.
I have only one thing to say.
Finding a fishing rod and getting some delicious koi from your bathtub.
Well, yeah, that's a great one. No, the other one is, looks like I'm not the one getting molested.
Wow! This is taking a darker turn. Like it.
All right. Well,
Uh,
that happened.
yes. So, interesting things are going on. So, thank you everybody who joined and chatted today. We'll be playing again next week if you want to just join us at our table and talk. But we do a little bit of streaming here and there, so just check our Twitters or channels if you want to see us play any other games. Otherwise, we'll be back next Saturday for more Dungeons & Dragons. We will have an update on the Pathfinder 2nd Edition soon. We will post on the channels as well as our Twitter when that will happen. If you want to join in, just click on our Discord and chat with us so we can get you in. Otherwise, till next time, everyone, be safe and happy gaming.